Now, if you're anything like me, you probably think adjusting every string just to play a single song is a pain in the ass. So here's a super quick lesson on how to play Top Jimmy in drop D. What? The title said standard tuning. Bloody AI clickbait bots. This really is as simple as barring the 12th fret to get harmonics on the top 3 strings, and then the 14th fret and 13th fret on the G and B strings to get the next 2. So that's the shape. And then we move that up to the 19th fret. Same shape. And of course Eddie does a couple of different licks around those chords. And the second time, slightly different lick. So back and forth between those two shapes. Then the heavier guitar comes in. So I'm just playing that as 5 chords on the top 3 strings, sliding into the G5 at the 5th fret, back to F5 at the 3rd fret, and D5. And he gives that a bit of a bend. Then there's that fantastic little chordal riff that comes in just before the verse. This is a little bit trickier to play because Eddie can play it with pull-offs because he's got the whole guitar tuned to a D7 chord. But we can still do it because it's only one shape. So we're just holding this shape. 5th fret on the D string, 7th fret on the G string, 6th fret on the B string. So that's a little G7. And then we're sliding back 1 fret. Then we slide back another fret to an F7. And down to our D7 at the open 2nd, 1st. Then the verse, it's really hard to hear the first chord, but I think it's like this. So I'm just on open D string, 9 and 8 on the G and B. Do that a couple of times. Then 7, 7, a D chord. Then we go back to that G7 shape. Then he does that swinging little triplet lick. So to play that lick, I'm starting on the open D string and hammering onto the 3rd and then the 5th. Then playing the open G string before grabbing that G7 chord once again at the 5th fret, 5, 7, 6. Then I pull off to the open D string before grabbing the F on the 3rd fret of the D string and playing that F7 chord, and then pulling off from the 2nd fret to the open D string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back into that riff. Then the 3rd time, to go into the chorus, Eddie plays a slightly different, it changes each time, but it's something like the G7 to a C, then the F7, then I'm just playing the F5 chord, 3rd fret, 5th fret. Then we've got the chorus. Now ideally we'd be able to play But that's a bit of a stretch, and we don't really need to because the bass guitar is playing the root notes. So all I did is played 12th fret on the D, G and B strings, 12, 14, 13, and I'm moving that shape up and down. Back to the 7th fret, 10th, 5th, back to the 12th, 9th, 10th, 12th, 14th, back to the start. And that's it. I mean, the solo section is different, but there are plenty of great players on here showing you how to play the solo. I don't need to be doing that unless you want me to. All my tabs and lessons may be found on Patreon. If you can be bothered heading over there and having a look around, there's so much good stuff, and you can make requests and you can perhaps help support me to be able to find more time to do this stuff, impart the knowledge and share the love.